It gives me great pleasure to introduce the speaker for today, and that is Vivian Giang. She is currently working on her doctorate program. She studied at universities in Edmonton and in BC, in Germany and Japan, and she's going to Hawaii next to complete her work. She's currently the president of the United Nations Association in Canada, Edmonton branch. Please welcome Vivian Giang.
Thank you very much, everyone. My heart is full being here today and seeing all the people here who are committed to peace in our city, and all the people who take the time to recommit themselves each year to think about what we can do to create a more peaceful society around us. 40 years ago, the United Nations General Assembly declared September 21st as the International Day of Peace. And, Guy reminded me, 5 years later, they introduced the International Year of Peace in 1986. And the United Nations has a very special place in my heart. And I'm not sure if many of you know me at all, but my parents were refugees from Vietnam. And it is because of the work of the United Nations when they set up refugee camps for people who were trying to escape persecution in Vietnam. My parents were the recipients of that aid. And they were able to stay in a UN refugee camp for about a year before they made safe passage to Canada. And it's because of people who, like you, were more committed to a just society. A society without war, a society with peace, a society that allows children to grow and achieve their greatest dreams. My parents were able to make their voyage so that today I can be here and try to continue the work of all the people who had helped my parents and thus helped me get here today. This year's theme for the International Day of Peace is about equitably building back for a better future. We've seen that the pandemic, COVID-19, has ravaged the world in so many different ways, and yet the way it has affected people is quite inequitable. Some countries do not have a hope of obtaining vaccines at this point. Some countries, they're dealing with economic devastation to their economies, and other countries are dealing with civil war. As we all know, of course, the very disastrous things that are happening in Afghanistan right now. It's unbelievable, all of the different issues that we are grappling with. And yet, I'm so proud that Canadians, like the ones here today, are still committed to trying to make lives better for those, not only here, but also abroad. I like to often think that the people who saved me throughout this pandemic were my children, actually. They wake up every morning and they don't have any malice in their hearts. They wake up, they're curious about the world around them, and they're ready just to have fun. To go and, try to explore and see what the world has ready for them. And I really, really do believe that as we turn to children and follow their example of wanting peace, of wanting a world that you can just explore and be curious about, that we too can turn our hearts so that we can look at others and help them also achieve their dreams as well. Right now, I'm teaching a class at MacEwan University. I'm teaching about business communications among about 40 young students that range in age between as young as 18 up to about 25. And yesterday night, actually, that's when I was teaching the course, we were talking about intercultural communication and why it's important, and how there's a Alberta Human Rights Act and what are the 14 or 15 protected grounds. And they all looked at me really confused. They were just so confused. Why is she telling me this? Isn't this just common sense? And it was such a peaceful moment for me that they thought what I was telling them was so redundant. That, of course, you do not discriminate against people because of their race. You do not discriminate people because of their religion. You do not discriminate, period. And that gives me hope that the next generations will continue the work that we're doing today and hopefully take it even further so that we can all experience better equity. Thank you so much for inviting me today, and it's a pleasure to meet everyone. And again, thank you for your commitment and your actions to peace. Thank you.